All right, let's jump into international football beef. Wait, is it really a beef if it's only a one-way street beef? Because so far, Carlo Ancelotti hasn't said much about the situation, if any, even. But nonetheless, Brazilian president, so the president of the country of Brazil, Lula, made a comment on Carlo Ancelotti when asked his thought about Carlo Ancelotti becoming the Brazilian national team new head coach. I'm pretty sure everybody was expecting him to be, welcoming and saying nice thing about Carlo Ancelotti. That's not what happened. Lula had clearly a beef with Carlo Ancelotti becoming the new head coach. So he said when talking about Carlo Ancelotti, he said he has never coached Italy. Why doesn't he solve the problem of Italy, which didn't even qualify for the last World Cup? So he's dissing Carlo Ancelotti and he's dissing the Italy national team. So that's two bird in one stone, literally. Where to start? Now, this is clearly a sentence, a quote of someone. Now, I'm gonna forgive him because he's president of the country. He has too many things to worry about. I'm pretty sure he doesn't follow football, although he's a Brazilian. You would assume a Brazilian would know a thing or two about football and who Carlo Ancelotti is as a person and as a manager. But nonetheless, he said pretty much he's not happy with Brazil appointing Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti is going to come after 2024, just for FYI. They appointed somebody who's going to be there up until the end of the Copa America and the next summer. After that, Carlo Ancelotti, whenever he's done with Real Madrid, going to join the Brazilian national team as the new head coach. But that's what Brazilian president is not happy about. He want the Brazilian to coach the Brazilian national team. Now, on that note, I'm not necessarily against that. I'm not mad about it. It makes sense for someone who actually knows deeply the culture of Brazil football to go in there and coach. But yet again, most of Brazil national team players are international players, meaning they play in Europe anyways. Now, some fringe talent come from the Brazil national team. When I mean fringe, it's not a diss on them, but the bulk of the Brazil national team pretty much come from Europe. So Carlo Ancelotti has I'm pretty sure either himself or his team, because it's not just the head coach. They come with a team of scouts, people that know the football. I'm pretty sure Ancelotti wasn't going to come in Brazil just bringing Italian that don't know anything about Brazil's football. Pretty sure he's going to bring his own team and also rely heavily on, grabbing 1, 2, or 3 guys that know Brazil football to be able to get the best 23 or 25 players that are going to represent Brazil for the next Brazilian endeavor. So for Lula to diss Ancelotti saying he has never coached Italy national team, as if you have to have prior experience with Italy national team to be able to coach Brazil, is kind of misleading quote. Also saying that he needs to solve Italy. Now, Italy doesn't need much solving, to be honest. I mean, last time I checked, last time Brazil won the World Cup was 21 years ago? If I'm not mistaken, yeah. 21 years ago, Brazil hasn't won the World Cup, hasn't even been close to winning the World Cup. So as far as that, now they did win the Copa America. Was it 2019? I think it was 2019 or something like that. Or the Confederation Cup. Nobody really cares about the Confederation Cup, to be honest. But not only Italy won the World Cup in 2006, also Italy is current European champion. So for Lula talking about Italy football needs to be solved, I disagree with it. Not only Italy is European champion, last time I checked, Inter Milan was in the Champions League final. AC Milan was in the semi-final with Inter Milan. Napoli was in the quarterfinal. So Italian football seems to be in a good place moving forward. And the reason why Ancelotti didn't come in and solve Italy problem, now you need to admit, is it Italian problem? Yes, they did miss the last World Cup, but there's so many good coaches for Italy to pick from, which is not the case. Now, I don't say they don't have good coaches in Brazil. They definitely have good coaches. But I mean, like, as far as like great recognizable, great names in football coaching, who has better coach as far as like national team or club level, Italy or Brazil? I'm sorry, but whether it's Carlo Ancelotti, whether it's Antonio Conte, whether it's Simone Inzaghi, Marcello Lippi, whether it's Fabio Capello, whether it's Cesare Prandelli, whether it's Pioli. Like, there's so many Italian coaches I can name before I can even encounter a Brazilian coach that's on that level of coaching. So for him to try to like dismiss Ancelotti trying to say, oh, Ancelotti, if you pretty much is what he's implying with this sentence is, If Ancelotti was that guy, was that savior, was that great of a coach, Italy would have called him to save Italian football national team. But the problem is there's so many good coach, great coach, I would say, in Italy, which is not the case. I'm sorry, Brazilian have really good coaches. They coach on Brazilian national team or the Brazilian league. But how many of them make it to the big teams and the big leagues in Europe? Not that many. That's on the level the people that I just named. I mean, again, Italy has a history of great coaching. So Lula is out of touch. I'm gonna give him a pass because he's the president of the country. He has so many other things to worry about. It's probably not current on football, on Italian coaching, especially. I mean, if you're gonna criticize Italy for something, you can. There's a lot of things you can criticize Italy for, but their coachings, no way. Italy produced one of the best coach in the world, like in the world of football. They've coached. I can go back to the Trapattoni's. I can go back, like coaches that have actually coached foreign national team and they've succeeded at all the levels. So Carlo Ancelotti can, if any Brazilian coach can do the job, Carlo Ancelotti can do exactly the job and can even do a better job because, I mean, players like Vini Jr., they were happy to hear that. Now, of course, Vini Jr. is going to be biased. He played for Real Madrid, but Casemiro also played for Real Madrid. But even Neymar hasn't played for Ancelotti, but even him is happy that Carlo Ancelotti is going to be opponent. So all the bulk of the Brazilian national team that plays in big leagues in Europe, they are happy and they recognize Carlo Ancelotti's career as a manager, and they know he's the right man for that team. But Lula apparently has different point of view, but he can say whatever he wants. He's the president of the country, so he does what he wants. But I'm just saying, as far as a football fan, Lula, I'm gonna give him a F on that quote. An F. He is right on that. Italy didn't get to play the World Cup that just ended, but Italy has so many great coaches to coach a national team, which is not the case for Brazil. The case for Brazil, I'm sorry, they have really good coaches, but which Brazilian coach has the level of the one that I just named for Italy? I mean, Carlo Ancelotti again, Antonio Conte again, Marcello Lippi, Fabio Capello, Cesare Prandelli, even Simone Inzaghi. I mean, I can name. There's too many of them to start naming that are better than Brazilian coach. So, but now, the other point that you can make is coaching at club level is not the same as coaching at national team level, and that would be a fair point. But here's the thing. Ancelotti being the smart man that he is, and being the great manager that he is, he's not just gonna come in with just Italian stuff. I'm pretty sure he's gonna even within his staff, he has scouts, people that know Brazilian football. He knows, like I said, the international players, but he has a team around him that knows precisely who he needs to get the 25 best Brazilian players to win big trophies. So he's gonna come in, pretty sure he's gonna bring his own team and also get some Brazilian football connoisseur, so to speak, and get him as a member of his staff. So Ancelotti is a smart man if he's coming in, and the Brazilian Football Federation, they know what they're doing. They didn't just pick some random name just because of the name Carlo Ancelotti. The reason why they picked him, his style of managing, his management style, his way of coaching players, his vision, his style of play can suit Brazil pretty well, and he's really good at working with big egos. And this Brazilian national team, I'm sorry, there's so many egos all over the floor, and you have to have a coach like Carlo Ancelotti. You don't have to have it, but for Lula to say that Carlo Ancelotti shouldn't be appointed because he's never coached Italy, suggesting that he's not, if he were good enough, he would have by now, it's completely false. The reason why he hasn't coached Italy, because again, there's plenty of great Italian coaches that have chosen different paths to swing between national team and club level. I'm sure if Ancelotti wanted to coach the Italian national team, he would have by now. Maybe it's by choice because he didn't. That was not something he was interested in at that point of time in his career. And now maybe he's done it all at club level. He has won it all at club level. He won the Champions League several times. He won the league several times in different countries. Like he won everything a coach needs to win at club level. Maybe now he's ready to take it to the national team level. So maybe it wasn't a coach for Italy because of his personal reasons, career reasons, but it was definitely not because it's not good enough as Lula trying to suggest it. Now you let me know what you think about Lula's quote. Is Lula right to say that Carlo Ancelotti shouldn't be the coach of Brazil national team because he has never coached Italy, and if he was that good, he would have saved them? Does Italy national team needs saving. And yeah, I'm here. I'm eager to hear what you guys have to say about it in the comment below.